guys, so today our video is going to be about how I connected with my Korean family. And so I just wanted to read and share the first letter I received from my birth mom. And this I received in October of 2014.
There may be some waterworks.
Hi Jinhee, how have you been? When I heard of your news from the Social Welfare Service on October 29th, I was so thankful, happy, and sad all the same time that I was overwhelmed with all these mixed emotions. Your news and contact details were dim when I contacted Social Welfare Service. I was frustrated and distressed. We have shed tears whenever we thought of you since we could not contact you. I have had 4 neural surgeries within the last 10 years, and I'm still not too well. But I have said that I wanted to see you, or just to hear that you were doing well before I died. I do miss you, and I thank you for looking for me, who doesn't have the right to be called mother. Your twin sister and your younger sister aren't married. They're working. Are you married? I have so many questions. If you are well, if you are healthy. Jinhee, I don't deserve to call you my daughter, but I have had you in the deepest part of my heart, my second child. There is so much to say, but I don't know where to start. Would you please respond to this letter soon? It will be nice if you can send me a picture too. I miss you. I love you. From your mother in Korea.
When we first received that the first time, it just both of us were just bawling.
Yeah.
It's really sweet, and it was amazing to finally get to hear from her. So, how all this started, though, there was a process with this. Didn't just happen overnight. I think once we actually took the step into locating them, it took about a month or so. It's actually fairly quick because we had read a lot of stuff online that some of the processes took a very, very long time, months and months. Sometimes people didn't even find their family. Luckily for us, it only took a month.
But leading up to this, I had lived thinking that I would never connect with them. I just knew from information I received over the years that I knew I had a family, I knew I had a twin, but the likelihood of me ever meeting them was probably slim to none. And so it takes a lot of time and effort for other Korean adoptees I know to get that courage to actually
take the step
because it's a gamble and you don't know if it's going to pay off or not. And I think that emotionally it's hard to prepare yourself. And so for me, it just took a lot of self-searching to realize that everything that I had done up until this point, all the successes I have gained, everything that I thought would make me happy really wouldn't fulfill me internally. And so I decided that I wanted to go deeper than just thinking that having status or possessions or things would really define who I was and make me happy. And that's when I decided that I needed to fulfill my inner being by finding my family.
Yeah, and her situation was, a little different too. By the letters that she had received when she was very young, 10, she had known that her mom was sick, and then the letters stopped. So she actually thought that her mom was dead because contact just stopped. So once we actually started doing the searching, we were hoping to find the mom, but we were really thinking that we were just going to find like her sisters because she knew she had a twin and a younger sister, so she really wanted to connect to those. But how this all started, I come from a very big family, so I know the importance of family, and I would take the time every 6 months, every year or so, and I would go and actually look through Facebook, send messages to people with her sister's names to try to find them. And I sent probably over 200 messages to people that had the same name as her sister. And most of them I didn't get responses back from. Some people were very nice and told me about different websites that I could go to, different, because Facebook isn't the most popular thing in Korea. There's a lot of different social media outlets. So some people gave me some other options. Now, another thing that I would do is I would just go and look online at different blogs. And there was this one, it was called Jane's blog. It's a Korean adoptee that moved to Korea, and she has a blog and tries to give some people information about finding adoptive parents or biological parents and stuff like that. So I was looking one time, and I had noticed that my mom had put a post on there, and I thought it was really sweet. She hadn't told us, but she was trying to help Amanda find her family as well. And the really crazy thing is someone actually responded to my mom's post. It wasn't her biological family, but it was actually someone from her first adoptive family. One of her siblings from her first adoptive family when she came to the States. And I actually got in contact with him. She had put something in there about Amanda's situation, and he wrote, like, that really sounds like my sister. Some of the information's a little different, but it really sounds like my sister, Amanda. And so I responded and I said, well, this is my wife. I can give you a little bit more information. Maybe we should get in touch. So he called me and we talked for a while, and Amanda got pulled from that house for some certain reasons that we won't get into, but so she wasn't even sure if she wanted to talk with the family at all. So I talked to him. He seemed really genuine. We had a really, really good conversation that actually opened up the door for her to talk to him. And then from there, that really made Amanda want to find her biological family, because at this time I was looking for her biological family.
I didn't even know he was doing this either.
And this got her wanting to look for them. We actually went at that time through social service welfare, or however you say it, SSWS, and then that's where the ball got rolling with that month-long process of finding them. And then we found them, and it was amazing getting that letter from her mom. And then later we got an email from her sister, and her sister writes English fairly well. She speaks English pretty good as well, but her writing in English is a lot better. So we were in contact for several months, probably 4 months, back and forth, but getting to know them and letting them get to know us. And then, we made the trip over to Korea, and that's what got the ball rolling with wanting to move here.
So I wanted to talk a little bit about the process overall. So the social welfare service, we were able to find letters where my mom had communicated. She was able to track down my first adoptive family and correspond a little bit, and so that's where I first heard wind of my family, because I was the only Korean adoptee in a house of siblings and parents, and all of them were all biological, and I was the only outsider. And so my mom tracked them down, and they were corresponding a little bit. And then everything was silent from there because I was taken out of that house. And then she was able to find my second adoptive family, and the correspondence was continual until Eric mentioned it just stopped. But what happened was, since we had letters, I could identify this is the Korean Adoption Agency where I was adopted out of. So I went on the website when I finally decided this was the right timing for me, and I filled out, they just have almost like an inquiry form where you just fill out all the information that you know, your birth name, your Korean name, your just information, anything that you can fill out. Then you're assigned a social worker rather, and she responded pretty promptly and asked for more information.
The lady was amazing. She helped us through the whole process and helped us with stuff even afterwards to try to help us get paperwork for coming to Korea, for moving to Korea, which was great.
So the first thing that she wanted to have me fill out, I was just pulling it up here, it's called the Provision of Adoption Information. So a petition for adoption information disclosure. So that's the first form that you need to fill out, and it's not complicated because she realized, and so does the adoption agency, that you are only have so much information, so provide whatever you can. And she was able to track down my file, and from there on try to make contact with my mom, and she would inform me if her attempts were failed, and at first they were, because for whatever reason my mom just wasn't getting the message until she actually just called my mother over the phone. So they have to get consent from that Korean family that it's okay to release
information.
And then from there on, naturally, I wanted all the information on my file. And so I was able to get a child study sent back, as well as a legal document, a family registry and certificate of guardianship, and final, a report on physical examination. And these are just basically documents about the state I was in when I was taken into the agency, how my health was, as well as my adoption papers.
How old and all that.
Yeah, and those are really necessary, especially for someone like me. And she knew my situation, wanting to find a job in Korea, so she knew I needed it if I was to get the visa status of F4. And so from there on, the process was very simple, but also it felt really comforting having someone that I could ask questions about. You know, I told her about some of my struggles with translating, and so she offered to translate a letter. So I wrote a response back to my mom, and she was able to translate it for me.
Yeah, and I think that's when we actually put in our email address as well, and then we started getting emails from her sister.
Yeah. So I wanted to share the response I sent back to my mom in Korea after communicating with her for the first time. I read, "Dear Mom, I am so sorry that I did not respond yesterday. I wanted to take time without rushing before writing you back. Yesterday my schedule was full with both school and work, and I too wish we could talk to one another. I am really thankful you responded to my inquiry from the adoption agency. I know it was impossible for you to bring me back to Korea. After all, I was adopted by another family. I appreciate your attempts. It gave me hopes that there was a family that truly cared for me. My experiences in the United States has been a journey of sadness, emptiness, abuse, and a lack of strong relationships with anyone besides my husband. I would be very obedient to my family growing up, but no matter what I did, my adoptive family did not show genuine love back. I excelled in school and graduated at the top of my class. Still, the empty feeling did not go away. Now, finally, I feel a tremendous void in my heart as I know that you are alive. I am the happiest I've ever been in my entire life to date. Currently, I'm obtaining my degree in human resources, and I hope to make you proud. I work hard at everything I do. I have never blamed you for anything. It is no one's fault for what happened. Please know that I am sincere when I say I could never hate my mother. I wish so badly to hug you and meet the family. I will work really hard to save money to visit you. I am fat compared to my sister, so I'm going to try and lose some weight too. But I will always make room for food that you cook. I recently have stopped communicating with my adopted parents for several months now, and my mom was not loving at all to me. And in the past, she told me that she wished she never signed the adoption papers. She wished that she could be on a beach in Hawaii, rather. I do not know what led her to say these things to me growing up. I have always been a loving, hardworking, and successful daughter. I always volunteer to help my parents in any way that I can. I have not gotten an exchange of love in return. For now, I have simplified my life and who I spend it with, and I want to learn about you and about your upbringing in Korea. Anything you are willing to share, I will cherish the time we have together, and I hope that I get to see you very soon. Love you, Mom, Amanda.
Very sweet.
So I hope this video, gives some insight as the process if you're a Korean adoptee and you're looking to, reconnect with your family. It takes time and it's a personal journey that you have to be emotionally prepared for. But in my case, it paid off, and so I just wanted to encourage, other people in the same situation that, you really can do this.
Yeah. If you're just not feeling fulfilled as much as you could, this is an option.
All right, well, thanks for watching our video.
Yeah, and if you like the content, please subscribe to our channel and make sure that you hit that like button.
Bye.
Bye, guys.